You have eaten well. You have eaten the comic books pages.
Oh.
You have eaten the comic books cover. But no more. Your feast is over. From now on, none of you are safe. Hey everybody, this is
Jack Nicholson.
I don't know what I'm doing, Michael.
Listen, buddy.
Welcome everybody to Batman Year One. It's the comic book show. Welcome back to everybody to Tales from the Long Box. It's where the Big Two talk about the Big Two. We are the Big Two, the two of us.
We're the Big Two. I'm Marshall.
I don't think so. I'm Marshall. That's Michael. He's the tall one. I'm the regular size one.
Wait, let me try again.
Okay, go for it.
I'm Marshall, the regular sized one. Oh, I goofed it up.
This guy doesn't know what size he is or what his name is. That's okay.
It's true.
We are here to talk about the best comic book of all time, at least the best Batman comic of all time, as far as I'm concerned. Batman Year One.
As far as you're concerned. Okay.
I'm pretty concerned.
I know you are.
I'm a little concerned, Michael. I'm here to talk to you about it.
I'm so ready to talk
about my concerns.
Yeah.
But I really love this book. I just did a video on it. So if you're here from that, welcome. If you have not watched that yet, here's a card. Go back and watch that quick and then come back
watch
and
it.
Check this out. It's just 13 minutes long.
Go watch the video.
It's
my friend Marshall made it.
I did it, the regular size one. It dives deep into a couple panels of the book specifically and also gets into some of the history that we'll probably rehash here a little bit.
Probably, yeah.
But this is a longer discussion about the book, about the whole book, different aspects of it, and we get to hear what Michael thinks about it, which is so exciting.
Dude, it's almost hard to talk about because it's so clearly...
Number one.
The best ever, yeah.
It's nuts.
It's tough, yeah. It makes it almost like, what can you even say except for it's like perfect?
Which is to the point where we almost like held off because we were like, is this the right time to talk about Batman Year One?
Yeah.
Is there a moment that would be more timely or important for us to talk about Year One? Yeah. Because it's like... the same reason it took the Weekly Planet guys so long to do Star Wars on Caravan of Garbage.
Yeah.
That kind of, it's like, once you go to the top, we've done it now,
Totally.
So here we are.
Shout out James and Mason, famously big fans of our podcast.
Shout out Jameson and Mesos. So I don't have a book description here, but maybe, Michael, you can just read the back of what we've got, this physical copy right here.
You want me to read a physical thing instead of digital?
Yeah,
what do you think I am? Not Gen Z?
Whoa. Shots fired.
There's a couple of Gen Z.
What are you, General Simon?
Whoa. A little...
The preview from the future?
Yeah, a little throw forward.
I'm time displaced.
Oh, wow. You've been sent back to the 1940s.
Yeah, get ready for Captain America Man Out of Time.
Yeah, these are really good jokes because we've already filmed our Captain America episode for 2 weeks out.
In a few weeks, you'll really love this.
Yeah, you're going to come back and go,
you're not ready for that yet.
These guys are so funny, you'll say.
But your kids are going to love it.
Oh, pretty good. In 1986, Marshall, Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli.
Yep. Good job. You got it right.
I probably shouldn't do the accent.
Maybe not the accent, but Mazzucchelli is the correct pronunciation.
Oh boy, do I know it.
Yeah.
Those two fellers produced this groundbreaking reinterpretation, I can read, of the origin of Batman, who he is and how he came to be. Written shortly after The Dark Knight Returns, which is another book we've talked about sometimes. Oh, there it is. Miller's dystopian fable of Batman's final days. That happens in that.
It's right here.
Year One set the stage for a new vision of a legendary character. This edition includes the complete graphic novel, new introduction. We don't need all that.
Yeah.
We don't need all that.
But basically, it's what you said there. This is Batman's alpha,
Yeah.
Miller had just done the Omega, now he does the alpha.
Yeah.
So I talked at length about kind of the history behind this in this other video, but I'll rehash that really quickly. But first of all, written by Frank Miller, penciled and inked by David Mazzucchelli, colored by Mazzucchelli's wife, Richmond Lewis, a talented...
I didn't know that.
She's a very talented painter.
Yeah.
And he, in the moment, was like, I know who should do this.
Yeah.
My wife.
Yeah.
So she did it. And she's fantastic and maybe the hero of this book, in my opinion. And lettered by Todd Klein. I do have, we make mention quickly, I do have the Batman Year One Artist Editions. This is the size that this was drawn at, essentially, on 11 by 17 paper, and then it is then brought down to that size. So this is, and I'll put an insert or something of flipping through it, and we'll probably look at it later on. This is the original pages scanned just in the inks and pencils, and a lot of like Mazzucchelli's layouts are in here as well, so you get to see the work before it was colored, see the way that lettering was pasted on and stuff like that, and it really gives you an interesting insight into the way that Mazzucchelli works. And the way that it's very heavy, Michael, and the way that the story was told. You want to try it?
It is heavier than it looks.
It is very heavy. It's a big hardcover book with a lot of pages in it.
It's like it's full of paper or something, and paper is famously heavy.
Paper is like so heavy. It's heavier than a pound of feathers.
That's what they tell me.
So, essentially, the way this came about is that in 1985, this is the way I explained it in the video, is that DC superheroes were created in 1938 by Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel, with DC in Action Comics #1, which we have Action Comics #1000 over there, which is kind of fun. There it is.
This guy right here.
I've got a couple copies of that. I think I have the Jim Lee one as well.
Smash the Axis, buy war bonds and stamps.
It's pretty fun.
That's so cute at the bottom corner.
But Superman was created. He was the first superhero of all time in 1938. Batman followed quickly thereafter, as well as Wonder Woman, various other characters. And
Booster Gold.
A little bit later. Then Marvel pops up in the 60s as Marvel Comics. They had existed as Timely and a couple other iterations as well. I made another video about that. By the time we get to the 1980s, the continuity for DC had gotten so convoluted. Characters had come back to life after being killed. There were multiple parallel Earths with the Justice Society of America, the Justice League of America. There's, all kinds of different stuff. It's just really confusing and over the top. Origin stories conflict. Things don't make sense. So they say, we need to refresh. We need to blow all this up. So they do Crisis on Infinite Earths with Marv Wolfman and George Perez. And like I said in the video, it's a very complicated story to explain for all of the reasons I just said. But essentially, the important thing that happens here is that all of the multiverse of worlds explode it doesn't matter. At the end of this story, there's one single universe. And that's it.
So it's a big old reset.
Yes. So all of these things are now on the same Earth. Instead of there being on Earth 2, there's the JSA, and on Earth 1, there's this one. It's now the JSA is like a part of World War II history, and it's a precursor to the Justice League, stuff like that. So they're trying to now recreate the continuity, and they then had to reboot a lot of their characters.
Are you of the mind that it was a good move to reboot the continuity in that way? Because I am. Because I think it was needed. Because as you mentioned, it was a mess. Things were all over the place. There was no shared vision between creative teams. But what's your take on it?
It depends. I mean, some characters were affected better than others. Superman kind of got the short end of the stick with John Byrne's characterization of the character, where he becomes very kind of less of a champion of the people and more of I'm a big fan of being a patriot and I'm kind of a cop type character, rather than the traditional characterization of Superman where he's just kind of, your friend and there to help and, that kind of thing. It felt like a very different guy. It was interesting. It was very much a Ronald Reagan's Superman. Of that era.
That's a good way to describe that.
And then you get George Perez's Wonder Woman, which was very good and is like the seminal run on the character in a lot of people's view. And then there was Batman Year One by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli and all the other people I already mentioned. So the way that this came about is kind of weird and funny. So here's the timeline. We have not talked about Born Again specifically in this comic show. This comic show that we do.
We've mentioned it a ton. We have never dove
in deeply into it.
We've never dove in.
We need to dove in deeper. Time to dove in deeper. So Frank Miller wrote Daredevil for a little bit from May of 79, and this was a very difficult thing to get all the dates and all the way this lines up. So if I get a little bit wrong, give me some grace. I'm sorry. So Frank Miller, on his first time on Daredevil, ran from May of 79 to February of 1983. So he started out as a penciler in Daredevil 158 and then took over writing in 168, where he introduced Elektra, and then his initial run ended with issue 191, at which point he'd kind of changed the foundations of the character, made him much more of like a gritty noir type guy, as Frank Miller is wont to do.
Yeah, all the time, yeah.
Everything that he does, he loves that stuff.
Some might say it's the only thing that he knows how to write well.
He does it really well.
He does it really
He's
well.
the Martin Scorsese of comic books. Scorsese has made other good movies, but the gangster stuff is really good.
Don't tell Scorsese that there's a comic book version of him, because he hates a comic book.
He hates comic book movie, and he's right. But we can dive deep into that. But he's totally right, just like Alan Moore is right about a lot of comic book fans being overgrown children.
Alan Moore? How about Alan Less?
Whoa, dude. His Swamp Thing is right there. Have some respect.
Oh, you're right.
So I actually have the omnibus for this Frank Miller Daredevil run. It's really good stuff. So after he leaves the book, Denny O'Neil took over. Denny O'Neil of Batman fame to most people. He takes over in March of 83 and starts his run at number 194. Then David Mazzucchelli joins Daredevil in 1984 as the regular penciler in number 206. And then in late 85, Denny O'Neil is wrapping up his time on the character, and editor Ralph Macchio, not that one.
Are you sure?
It's not, but how funny is it that there's two guys with that name?
That's a great name.
He got Frank Miller to come back to Marvel to do Born Again.
Yeah.
And Denny intentionally left the book with Matt's life in relatively, status quo in order that Frank Miller could then just rip into shreds. So then Born Again happens in 86. Well, just throughout 86, I guess. It's only 4 issues, I think, right? Or it's longer than that. It's longer than that.
It's
Whatever.
brief. I mean, it's not super long.
It's not super long. Miller and Mazzucchelli teamed up for Born Again, where Karen Page sells Matt's secret identity for a drug fix. What the heck?
Typical.
The Kingpin destroys Matt's life, and Matt, comes out of it doing better. Everything's good. It's a really good book.
Typical. Yeah.
Mazzucchelli does incredible stuff in it. It really kind of is what put him on the map.
Yeah.
So then, at the same time as Born Again is coming out, Frank Miller is also releasing The Dark Knight Returns. How crazy is that?
Did he sleep? Like, what is bro doing? Just eating at all times.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight Returns released concurrently with Born Again for several months.
Yeah.
So there was a period in 1986 where you were going to your newsstand or your, direct market shop, and you were picking up at any point 2 of the greatest runs on these 2 characters of all time.
Yeah. That
is nuts. What a crazy thing.
Yeah. If we were alive 40 years ago, like right now, we'd be
like, I don't know about this book.
We'd be feasting.
I don't know about this one. It's not that good.
I mean, imagine if we were contemporary readers and we didn't love these.
It's not very good. This sucks. Hey, Jay. I don't know about that. I'm Jay Leno.
That's correct.
So, Denny O'Neil then came back to DC as Batman editor in late 86. So then following Crisis on Infinite Earths, he came back to DC, became the Batman editor, and was the one in charge of bringing Gotham back to a more dark and grounded reality. And the first thing that he did was recruit Miller and Mazzucchelli, who had just done this incredible thing with Year One. Not with Year One, sorry. Born Again. So then, 87... is when Batman Year One finally begins. And it came out initially, it was initially thought they were going to do as like a graphic novel, as like its own single thing.
Yeah.
And then they thought, well, to keep kind of a continuity with everything else that's coming out, we'll just put it in the mainline Batman book. So it did come out as 4 issues, that being numbers 404 to 407.
Yeah.
Which, funny thing to me, that they wouldn't reset the numbers. That the whole point of Crisis was that they were resetting their universe, and they didn't Like nowadays, it's really frustrating that they constantly will reboot, especially Marvel.
Yeah.
Will constantly like relaunch their group of titles, and it's a new number one, and you never know what the heck you're doing. And then halfway through that run, they'll reintroduce the legacy numbering because it's going to be a landmark thing, and they want to make more money. Yeah. And it's like super annoying and just like cheap and ridiculous. Back then, it would have actually made sense.
Yeah,
so it's interesting to me
at this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's like the early days.
So it's weird to me that this book was originally 404 to 407.
Yeah.
But
also,
not important.
As I looked up Frank Miller, there's nothing more humbling than seeing somebody who is the same age, or who in this case, Frank Miller was the same age when he wrote this.
Mazzucchelli was 25.
And Miller was 29.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm 29.
It's crazy.
It hurts. It hurts me because I'm like, oh, I got to get to work.
But people make it later in life. And stuff like
I know.
That,
you're 100% right. But just cool. My envy put aside.
Yeah.
So cool that they're such a young team, but this doesn't feel like something that's inspired by youth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these feel very mature.
Yeah.
Very like world-wise kind of thing. In their tone, in their story, things like that. Both of these books.
Did you say story, Michael?
Story?
Story?
Do you like it?
Are you Boss Nass?
Go to the story course.
We're gonna talk about this story.
Let's talk about the story. It's told in 4 chapters. I'm gonna kind of go story chapter by chapter as we go through.
Yep.
But throughout, this is told from the perspectives of both Batman and Gordon.
Yep.
Beyond them speaking and being on the page, their narration is told like. Gordon's is on kind of yellowed
like a legal
paper,
pad,
like a legal pad, or like a sticky note
on like a typical kind of like comic type font, not in all caps, which is you don't think about it, but that's typical for comics is that they're in all caps. That's why the Ultimate Universe was kind of an interesting weird thing because it has lowercase, which is then fun when they crossed over initially because you would see 616 Peter with like. The all caps and then everyone else is. It's a funny way to distinguish things. It makes the maker kind of creepy in 616. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you're right. So but
thank
Bruce,
your local letterer for having actual creative input for their letters.
Yeah.
And then Bruce is kind of it's a more refined like a cursive.
It's like a personal journal.
Yeah, that he's keeping.
It's like he's got a personal journal.
Yeah. It's like a personal journal.
Yeah.
And he starts every entry by saying personal
journal. Entry number 1.
That's another call forward to our Captain America episode.
It's going to be so funny in
a couple
3
of teasers.
weeks.
These are not good jokes. I hope you cut these.
It'd be really funny if you were here 15 minutes ago
when we were recording a future episode.
Yeah.
Think about that.
See you in the future, guys.
And that'll bake your noodle. In chapter 1, Gordon and Bruce both arrive back in Gotham City. Well, I guess Gordon for the first time, not back in Gotham City. He's just getting there.
Yeah.
And he immediately is starting to see how loosely the cops in this town like uphold the law.
Cops got it made in Gotham.
Yeah. The cops got it made because they're all on the take, like every single one except for Gordon himself.
Yeah.
And he throughout is going to face a ton of pressure to be on the take.
Yeah, it's a very Serpico type situation.
Very, very much so. Yeah. And so, they uphold the law when it profits them. Otherwise, they are kind of the commissioner and the mayor's
judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah, genuinely. Matter of fact, when Gordon won't turn and won't fall into line, in the same way that all the cops kind of behave, they beat him and threaten his wife and unborn kid.
Yeah.
Gordon, interestingly, throughout this first chapter, he retaliates as well and goes and beats Flass. He runs his car off the road, beats him,
leaves him naked in the woods.
Just leaves him there, humiliated.
Knowing he'll never, tell anyone that it was him. Yeah. And it's so good. Yeah. Even in that first moment where he sees Flass get out of the car, Flass being his partner that he's assigned to by Commissioner Loeb. And the first moment where he sees him just go harass this guy on the street for money or whatever, he's saying like he's got, he's big, he knows how to use his size, he's got Green Beret training. Mm-hmm. I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Keeping noted for later.
Yeah, totally.
And ready to be just so good.
I'll say this. When I remember the first time reading this, knowing that so much of it was going to be, again, I've read this a dozen times. Yeah. First time though, knowing that Gordon was going to be kind of a title character, like a lot of this would be told through his eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, that's going to be boring. Like Gordon makes for a great side character. Sure. Mm-hmm. He's like an essential friend that Batman has. I don't want to read a Jim Gordon story. Boy, was I wrong, though.
Yeah.
My goodness, this is a really good story with him. For things like that, it's like these choices that he makes. He doesn't do so much of this as Gordon not doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But he is like standing on his principles that he shows up in Gotham with, and still somehow, again, despite doing kind of dirty things like this, like assaulting a man.
Yeah.
He is still somehow the best cop in Gotham, like the only even vaguely good cop there. So very, very compelling and interesting. Meanwhile, Bruce also gets back to Gotham. This is where he karate chops a brick wall and kicks a tree in half, which is all really good things.
Like how I looked up
training. Yeah.
I did look up. This didn't make it into my video, but I did look up how much power it would take to kick a tree in half.
Okay,
and it's just an insane number of I think they measured it in like PSI or something. Yeah. It was just like 10,000 something. Yeah. Like it is, a human could not possibly. Yeah. Like it was hilarious. I was like I don't know how to put this into this video.
Guys like us, Marshall.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
I know.
I will do it right now if I hadn't gone to the gym 2 times today.
I know. You're so strong that it almost comes full circle.
I don't want to embarrass you.
I know. That's really it.
I could kick you in half.
You've done it.
You are the tree, and I will kick you in half, Michael. This is my challenge.
I'm firm as tree.
I will make you infirm.
You're gonna inert me?
I will make you inert with my strong kicks from my muscular leg.
Look at these things.
That's this one.
I'm sorry. I thought you said legs plural. You said leg singular.
Weirdly, it's the left one.
That is weird.
Right?
No.
Left.
Man, this is comedy. So anyway, after kicking a tree in half, as part of his training, Bruce goes and takes to the streets as kind of like a trial run against the criminal element.
Yeah,
in Gotham.
It's like maybe the origin of Matches Malone. It's kind of this like drifter kind of disguise where like it's a very iconic look that they kind of adapt then in The Batman 2022, Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson.
And the element is there. And I'm there.
I'm there.
Marshall's there
in Halloween,
and it's Halloween time. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared.
It's so good.
That opening narration.
Yeah.
But yeah, he goes out in disguise, not just as himself, but kind of just to test out
am I ready?
Yeah, what can I do with my skills, my passion to handle crime in this city. And it doesn't go well for him necessarily.
No, he gets the crap beat out of him.
He gets stabbed, he gets shot by the cops, and almost arrested.
It's weirdly a similar thing that happens in the Captain America comic that we're going to talk about in a few weeks that we just talked about 20 minutes ago. Make sense of that sentence.
A lot of
where he call back, call forward, whatever.
Yep.
It's this funny thing where he goes and sees this young girl. It's very Taxi Driver. There's this young girl who's a sex worker and the pimp who is pimping her. And he is like, hey, maybe you should stop like trying to be a pimp and with this like 12-year-old girl. And he's like, I'm mad at that. And then they get in a little scuffle and he kicks this guy.
Yeah.
And then the young girl, Holly, stabs Bruce
in the leg. Yeah.
It's like, hey man.
In his good left leg. Yeah.
So it's a funny little thing. It's Selena.
Yeah.
This unknown person.
Yeah.
Who
could she be?
Yeah, she's watching all of this and then jumps down and they have a little scuffle.
Yeah.
And that's a fun little moment where like their first meeting is him as this weird thug character. I think there's even a callback to that in the recent Batman run. I don't remember where that was, where they like kind of disagree about how they met. And I think Bruce is the one who remembers their initial meeting where she like disguised herself as an old lady and stole some jewels on a yacht.
Yeah.
And then Selena is like, no, it was in this alleyway when you were doing this thing or whatever. So it's like this fun playing with the history of the characters, pre-crisis, post-crisis stuff.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it leaves those two. Gordon is in this conflict with cops. Bruce. He's not even Batman yet.
No, he's just Bruce.
The entire first chapter, he's still just Bruce.
Not the entire first chapter.
You're right. At the very end,
the iconic moment,
he limps himself home. He's back in his giant living room with his big old windows.
Yeah.
And he's like talking to his dad in his head, and he's going, "I might have to die, Dad," which is very dark and harrowing. And he's thinking through, like, can I do this? Again, back to the, am I ready? Is this something that I'm actually called for, or am I gonna fail and get myself killed?
Yeah.
And the bats come through the window, and it's this killer moment that's on screen right now.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It says, if I ring this bell, Alfred will come. He can stop the bleeding in time. Another of your gifts to me, Father. I have wealth, the family manor. I have wealth. The family manor rests above a huge cave that will be the perfect headquarters, even a butler with training in combat medicine. Yes, Father, I have everything but patience. I'd rather die than wait another hour. I have waited 18 years since Zorro, so on and so forth. And then without warning it comes, crashing through the window of your study and mine. I have seen it before, somewhere. In this book.
Right there.
The previous year.
Yeah.
Where he falls down the well.
Mm-hmm.
It frightened me as a boy. Frightened me. Yes, Father, I shall become a bat. And then he rings the bell. It's this great moment.
Yeah.
That I've redrawn a portion of this for Battober a few years ago. Yeah. Now that's on the screen. Good job, Marshall.
Good job, Marshall.
But it's this really iconic moment of like deciding like he's going to be Batman.
Yeah.
Like this is the call. This is the mythic moment where he's seeing like this is what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is the method.
Yeah. It's so cinematic. Like if this was the end of a pilot episode of a TV show, I would be so extraordinarily hooked.
Yeah.
Not that that's like the be all end all is a different medium, but like I feel like more people
it's a really good moment
in that way, you know.
It's a really good cliffhanger kind of like get your fist pumping like what's going to happen next.
Oh, it is exactly that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you go on to chapter 2. Bruce goes out officially in the suit as Batman for the first time.
Mm.
This chapter 2 is where you get that iconic page early on that you talked about in your video at length.
Yep.
That is just such a cool moment where, again, Batman he's out for the first time and at the same time that Gordon is dealing with all of these things.
Yeah.
All these things at work and at home. You know, his wife is pregnant. He's dealing with all these pressures just of Gotham City in general. Gordon he's like at work doing his marksmanship training. I hate the gun. I hate my job. I keep practicing. He's back home. Another kick. Strong boy, little James. I pray he's very strong and smart enough to stay alive. How did I let this happen? How did I screw up so badly to bring an innocent child to life in a city without hope? And then you see the bat on the rooftops.
Yeah.
We've talked about this so many times, and it never gets old. It is always such a cool moment. It's like
really good.
This is one of those times where it's just the perfect use of this medium. I don't think that's even disputable.
The juxtaposition of the two images, the juxtaposition of the text and the moment, the colors swapping completely. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really, really well done.
It really, really is.
A moment on that previous page that I really like that you didn't quite gloss over, you didn't go far back enough, is at the beginning of that moment where he's like doing his target shooting. The first thing that he says is "it kicks." He's referring to the revolver.
Yeah. Yep.
Gunpowder burns my eyes and fills my nostrils. A wad of lead flies. If that were a man, the wad would shatter his spine and he'd feel his legs go dead, even as his heart.
The cunning warrior attacks neither body nor mind.
Tell me how!
The heart, Osborn. First, we attack his heart.
Explodes. Another kick. Like it's this great.
Yeah.
Cool thing of going into he hates the gun. He hates this moment, all of this violence. It's just a necessity to him. It's not something he wants to do.
Yeah.
And every kick of that is another like flinch of like tension and fear and frustration at the situation.
Totally,
and then you get to that moment, another kick. But we're now talking about the kicking of baby James in the belly.
Yeah.
And now juxtaposing that with what we had just been talking about, and it's that same tension and that same apprehension and that same fear, but now, you know, pushed onto his child. What a cool like little moment that you could just totally gloss over and not even realize.
And again, another reason why you end up liking him so much in this book, why you like Gordon, that is,
despite the affair and, you know,
that you get to spoilers, but like even just you kind of, I'll speak for myself. I found myself liking him so much more than Batman, and I'm trying to figure out why, because Batman's the cool one with the suit and the stuff and the money and all the things, but I read it and I go, it's because Batman has the choice. He could walk away from this whenever he wants to. Gordon is stuck. And he's still choosing to like stand on his principles, not end up in the mob's pocket, not end up like just seeking his own self-interest or the interest of his growing family or anything like that. Like he's trying to do the right thing while he's just strong-armed it in every direction. Something about, you know, it's the good old can't keep a good man down kind of thing. And he's kind of what, I don't know, I feel like he represents this personality, maybe this masculinity that a lot of guys,
he's us,
I think, seek toward.
He's the reader.
Very much.
You know, we are not Batman in this situation. We are Gordon. We're the regular people who are being, you know, like I said in the video, suffocated by our circumstances, crushed in his case by corruption and urban decay, like all of this stuff that he can continue to fight against, but it is a rising tide and it is going to envelop him. There's nothing that he can ultimately do to stop it. And if there was no Batman, this story ends with him dead. Like there's no shot that Gordon ends up surviving this, but Batman shows up and brings a different kind of hope to the city and changes what this story, where it would have gone. It's so a very different thing.
So at this point, Batman's been doing the job for 5 weeks. As this kind of chapter goes on, he's drawn the attention of the cops. They're chasing after him. He's still learning as well. He's
getting shot. He's, you know,
he's
exploding
getting injured all the time, allowing for like collateral damage to. At this point, I think it's mainly just like property damage kind of thing. That changes as time goes on too. But this chapter is also where you get this, you know, this declaration of war against the elite and the corrupt in Gotham. The police commissioner's having dinner with his mob friends.
Carmine Falcone. The introduction of Carmine Falcone.
First time you see him.
It's insane how between these two books, Miller just introduces so many groundbreaking, like not groundbreaking, but like what's the foundational elements of what we recognize as like Batman today. The same thing is with his run on Daredevil and The Man Without Fear.
Like indivisible lore that like Batman just would not be the same character without the things that Miller just creates here, seemingly not even. I'd love to be a fly in the room, you know, as this is being written and created, to understand, you know, was there any expectation that this would be this super long standing thing that would last decades of lore, you know? Such cool stuff. But are you putting up that page? That page. So this is after Batman has crashed this party with the commissioner and with the mob, where he comes through. I forget how he even makes his entrance. He smoke bombs the place. That's what it is.
He blasts a hole in the wall. It's this interesting thing. They do a really cool job of highlighting that he is a guy. I really love that. Gordon is this much more fleshed out, human feeling character, where Bruce is this kind of, he recognizes that he comes from wealth, and like we saw earlier in the stuff, he's got all of these gifts that allow him to do this thing, and it's really cool to then see them still, although he is this mythic kind of creature in this that is stoic and bringing kind of a life back to the city, a hope back to the city, he is still a guy. Mm-hmm. So there's this stuff in here about, I've got to put this one identifiable mark as a scar so people won't recognize me. Or right in here, he talks about having to be, theatrical. Yeah. Like part of being Batman and the fear aspect of all of this is a performance.
Even the narration that you get just immediately before this.
Yeah.
Batman again in his cursive script. Now take out the wall, hit the flood. It's showtime.
Yes.
And everybody at the party is freaking out. What the hell? Settle down. It's just smoke. Some stupid prank. Yada yada. All these things. As the smoke bomb goes off, and then you turn the page as you see here, and this is what you get. The ladies, gentlemen, you've eaten well. You've eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit. Your feast is nearly over. As he extinguishes the flaming dish or whatever it is here.
Yeah.
From this moment on, none of you are safe. And then it just leaves all black for one panel.
Yeah. But the genius here that Mazzucchelli's got going on is that he's not just leaving that blast panel black, but it's progressively getting further down. This is backwards.
It's progressively getting further down on the page, on the panel every single time.
Yep.
And Richmond Lewis's colors are gorgeous here. And it's worth noting the original issues had different colors. Richmond Lewis did go back and recolor the entire book.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is fairly similar, but there's other parts where it's been brought down in saturation or some of the kinds of colors that were available on the paper that they had for individual issues was different compared to the trade that they put together in 88.
Yeah.
So this would be representative of the redone colors. Mm-hmm. I could put on screen right now, Marshall, insert here the original page of this, and we can have all three of those on screen together. And you can see the difference. Most of the time, I prefer the original version of a thing. Mm-hmm. This is a rare instance where I think the new version is almost entirely exclusively better.
Yeah, which is, to me, is so hard to say because this is so iconic in its original iteration. I
feel like most people, this is probably the version that you're aware of.
Yes, no, it very much is. Yeah. But I'm with you that I do like that. It's so hard when a thing that already feels perfect is iterated on, and you can see for me at least, it's like a reluctant yeah, that is better. Mm-hmm. But it's been so good for all this time that I almost don't want to say that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's great stuff.
It's such a cool chapter in this.
It also really highlights, there's a lot of trust, to talk about art a little bit. Mm-hmm. The trust that Mazzucchelli has in Lewis as a colorist is massive.
Yeah.
Because he's leaving these big empty white spaces over here. For the smoke, he's got a dry brush that he's just kind of dabbing on the page. That's why it looks kind of rough like that, because there's not enough ink on it. That's what dry brushing is. Mm-hmm. So that's how you get some of these effects that he's got going on there.
Yeah.
And it's very empty. And if you just filled that in with a regular color job, it wouldn't quite look as good. But the thing that Lewis does over here is just giving it so much texture. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite pages for this is when the building explodes.
Yeah.
And it's basically just a big white page. Mm-hmm. And so much of what is on that page is the colors.
Yeah.
And you could, as an inker, go through and try to add all the different plumes and everything of the smoke here or on that building explosion. Mm-hmm. But Mazzucchelli trusts his colorist, and his colorist understands what he's doing enough to really make it work. Even the way you get the indication of the smoke covering up the suit here, covering the cape, even though it's kind of on the outskirts of it, but it's just there's no outline. The only outline of it is up here, and the lines aren't even complete. He's leaving so much implied closure on all of this stuff. The fire down here, It's really incredible work.
Yeah.
And it's not being left just completely bright and completely black areas. Like here, there's a nice gradient going from the top at this guy's face down to the fire, where if this was traditionally colored with the kind of bold, brash colors you would get in the late 80s, this whole panel would look more like that, but with yellow or with blue. And that's fine, but this understands what's happening in the scene so much better, and it's gorgeous. It works so well.
Totally.
I think the best comparison is looking at just Born Again, because Born Again is still gorgeous. There's an artist edition for that I really want. And you can see Mazzucchelli's lines are still impeccable and incredible and just insanely beautiful stuff, but the colors are more typical colors, and it's not a massive drawback. The book is still great, but when you compare it to the kind of like really great creative artistic choices that are being made here, it is just not the same.
Yeah.
It's such a stark difference.
Dude, 100%. Yeah. It's so cool. In that next chapter, Batman kind of goes up against the cops in this area. He loses all of his tools.
His belt catches fire. He's got thermite in there, and it's going to explode on him. So he's like, I better get rid of this.
Yeah, so he dumps that. He's left just kind of to his wits and the very like bare bones tools that he has left to work with, like the lockpick that he keeps in his boots or in his glove or something like that. He gets out by one of the classic, very dramatic Batman moves of using his like sonic gadget that he keeps in his boot to summon his swarm of bats from the Batcave.
Yeah, it's very good.
This is like the proto Batcave too. Before he's even set up in there, it's literally just a cave full
of
bats.
It is a Batcave.
Yeah, it very much is. And so he calls them. So you get this enormous cloud of bats that just covers the entire scene. So that's a very, very cool moment. Ends up escaping through there. As he's out, Gordon's continuing to hunt the Batman, and Bruce Wayne is his last suspect. Right.
Yeah. So this is so that's issue 3. So then we get into our final book here.
Yeah.
So Gordon is starting to kind of get the hint of like, maybe this guy isn't all bad. He saved this lady.
Yeah.
And everybody else is going nuts and super excessive. So he breaks off the relationship with Sarah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the commissioner has already got some pictures of them together, so he's going to try to blackmail him to get him out of there.
Yeah.
So he does the brave thing and tells Barbara that this was happening. So that way he can push against these guys, and it's still going to cause problems for them, obviously, but it's not like it's some big secret, like it doesn't have the same power that it would have otherwise.
Totally.
So right before that moment is this great page where he goes and is like just going down the list of like, who could, afford to do all these things? Who could have the physical capability to do all these things that this Batman is doing? And he goes to talk to Bruce, and it's a very like Batman Begins kind of, oh, it's just me with my ballerina girlfriend, and I was just off in this place. I don't know what you're talking about. Alfred, could you get us a drink?
Yeah,
sir, it's 11 a.m.
Be a joy and get us another bottle.
Yes. It's like that kind of like total douchebag. Again, performance.
Yeah.
Like he's a great actor, this Batman.
He really is.
Yeah.
Like both as... Oftentimes it's one or the other. It's, the whole thing is, I feel like the edgelord thing maybe is to say like, the Batman is the true identity and the act is the normal guy.
Yeah,
this is
like,
both.
Whatever, man.
It's like, this is still a normal guy, and he can act like the rich douche, or he can act like the creature of the night.
Yeah. Which is also a great book, by the way. Batman Creature of the Night.
Yes,
check it out.
It is that too.
Have you read that one?
I didn't. Yeah, I have. I didn't mean to do that, but it is a good one.
Crazy, interesting, unique take on the character. Yes. We should talk about that and the Superman book. I can't remember the name of it. About, again, similar to that book. It's a guy in the real world, a kid in the real world named Clark Kent, who has to deal with the fact that everyone makes jokes about him, and he kind of happens to look like Superman. And then one day he gets Superman powers.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, what the heck?
This one I don't think I've read, but it sounds like fun.
It's really good. It's a really interesting look at why Superman does what he does from the perspective of a guy who isn't actually Superman. So it's like him also kind of wrestling with, why do I do these things? And the government like hunting him like a UFO alien and stuff like that. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
The important thing really here that we should probably focus on is just kind of this final big moment at the end of this.
Yeah.
Where basically Gordon's son James is kidnapped.
Yeah.
Baby little boy.
Yeah. The commissioner sends Falcone the Roman and his men to go kidnap baby James. So Gordon gives chase, shoots and kills some of the gangsters that are actually doing this.
Mm-hmm. But meanwhile, there's just some guy,
some rando comes in also
who is got like a motorcycle helmet on. He's trying to stop these people, whatever.
Yeah.
Barbara is pointing a gun at him and says, "Don't, I'll kill you." And he says, "Mrs. Gordon, you have to trust me. I won't let your boy die."
Yeah.
And then he runs off.
Yeah. And this whole time, you, the reader, don't get to see his face.
Not initially, but you know.
Yeah, you can pretty much infer that this is Bruce Wayne. Yeah. But it's kind of not Bruce Wayne. It's Batman just outside the suit. And also, and so he chases him down in this like climactic hand-to-hand scuffle.
Yep, on the bridge.
Yep. Poor baby James gets thrown over the edge. Gordon cannot catch him in time.
Yeah. And
he's screaming no in agony. And then you see this other guy diving after
careless
him.
Abandon.
Yep. Goes and catches baby James. Baby James is wailing as he's handed back to his dad. Now all of them in the water. And there's a great moment where I've always read this panel as I don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
I don't think that he knows.
You don't think so?
No, I think that he's being honest here. I think it would significantly change their relationship if he knew who Bruce was.
Yeah.
And there is, other panels, I can't remember what story it is, where like Bruce does like try to, like he's going to go away or something. He's got to go to jail or what, I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's like going to take off the mask and Gordon's like, no, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't need to know.
Yeah, true.
And like, it's really good stuff.
Yeah. So I like the kind of tongue-in-cheek where again, Bruce hands him his baby.
Yeah.
And he goes, "You must be wearing some armor under that jacket."
Because he got shot.
Yeah, because he was
like hiding as one of these guys initially.
Yeah. During the initial kidnapping.
Yeah.
And then Gordon says, "I'm practically blind without my glasses," because he lost his glasses in the fight.
Yeah.
Siren's coming. You better go. And it's just that easy. I'm practically blind without my glasses. Practically blind feels so tongue-in-cheek to me.
Yeah.
As kind of a... So I tend to probably be with you as far as, it would just change too much about their friendship if Gordon knew and didn't say anything, or just if he knew in general. But I do like that could... this feels like a moment that could branch off in two different directions. One where Gordon knows and chooses to turn away, chooses to be blind, so to speak. It could. I think it's it's nuanced writing that they use here, and I like it a lot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it ends. Like they kind of like round out all the different plot points of this is where this thing went and this is where this thing went, and it's just a kind of a really good kind of final point of just we have established this mythos now, and he said at the end, Gordon. It's all Gordon's point of view. Mm-hmm. And at the end he's saying, "As for me, well, there's a real panic on. Somebody's threatened to poison the Gotham reservoir. Calls himself the Joker. I got a friend coming who might be able to help. Should be here any minute."
Yeah.
And it's him up on the roof. No bat signal yet.
Not yet.
But
but they're figuring it out.
Very good. This is the best of all time. It's really good.
Yeah, it's hard to go anywhere from this. You know what I mean? We sometimes do if this then that. If you like this, read any other Batman thing. It's not going to stack up. But while you're considering what other Batman thing to read, watch our other Batman videos. We did a ton of them last fall when we were talking through. We talked through Batman the Cult. We talked through The Long Halloween. We talked through Dark Victory.
Yep.
We did Batman and Robin Year One.
Yep. They're doing a sequel to that.
Yes.
Really excited.
Which we will probably cover. Knowing us, we're probably going to cover that. Check out all of our other Batman stuff. Anything else we want to say about that?
That's pretty much it. This book is really good. Again, if you haven't watched the other video that I made from last week, you can go check that out. That'll be in the description and stuff like that. And that's all we have to say.
Yes. Check out all of our socials and everything like that. It's all in the description. We might be putting up a store soon, connecting that to our channel.
Possible.
Apparently it's not possible in Marshall's mind. I'm going to sneak past him and I'm going to set it up for you guys.
Frick.
So if you want some sick long box merch, we've been working on some cool stuff. So I think you'll like it. That's Comic Book Show. Thank you for listening. Next week we're going to see how well Marshall really knows comic books. Marshall thinks he knows everything. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, I've been reading comics my whole life. Like we all haven't. But does he really know comic books that well? We're going to put that to the test next week. It'll be a little different format than usual. You'll see what I mean. It's going to be really fun, though. I'm excited for it.
Play along!
So, yeah, you can play along with us. So we will see you then. Till then, keep reading comics. Love you.
Good luck.